Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review, and this is Power of the Primes Jazz. So we're going to take a real quick look at them. Got these figures off of eBay. They are showing up in Targets all over the country now. I even heard they're showing up on the East Coast. First thing I want to show you is how to connect the Prime module here to Jazz's chest. And what you're going to do is drag pegs out of the way. There are two tabs here on what will be the combined hand thumbs, and there are two notches there in Jazz's chest. It isn't pretty, it isn't easy, but you just curve it in, and it does hold ever so slightly, and it looks absolutely silly. Really do not like this look, and it is hard to get it looking even as well. I would have liked it if they would have had a port here in the back, since the module does have what appears to be little thrusters or something as like a jetpack, but it's all the way down here at the base, and that just doesn't look right. Now, much like the Dinobots, I'm going to go through the transformation by showing you the limb transformation, because that will get us to the desired modes we want and what have you. So starting us off, we're going to start with the arm mode, because that's actually easier to get to from robot mode, much like the Combiner Wars. So you want to come around here, open up the back, flip the feet up. Yes, it is easier to flip the feet up with that back panel open, and I do also agree that opening the panel inward like that doesn't make for as smooth a transformation as it could be. So we're going to straighten that up, peg the legs together, and now we're basically going to transform the torso. So first what you want to do is separate the torso just like that, and then you can go ahead and accordion up and out the back and chest. Go ahead, flip this piece down, bring it and just loosen it up, flip down the head all the way, flip this piece up, unpeg it so then you can straighten it out, and that will just rest underneath there. And now we come to basically the most dangerous part of the transformation. This whole, from this section all the way to the front here, is clear plastic. The tabs here are clear plastic. They need to tab into those slots. It is very difficult, requires a great deal of force to get them in and to get them out. So I do find that doing this side first is a little bit easier, and then doing that side, well, it is getting a little bit easier. So we did get it in. Then you want to just go ahead and rotate the arms down and into place. There are little tabs that will hold everything in. Now we're going to get that out of the way, rotate out the combiner port, go ahead and rotate the hips so that basically the back and the knees are facing forward, so you will have that double elbow. Now, it's a little unclear how this is going to work, but basically what you want to do is there are small black tabs right where my finger is. See if I can maybe illuminate that a little more. Right where my finger is, that are going to fit into slots on the edge of the forearm. And it doesn't hold well. You guys kind of squeeze the arms in a little, but there you go. There's the arm, and let me bring the Prime Master module in. And what I've kind of stolen from other people is the thumb you're not using, rotate it up to get it out of the way, and so it doesn't look wrong. And form the hand, plug it in, and there you have the arm. And I gotta say, this doesn't look that bad, but I'll be very honest with you, I am not entirely in love with the Prime Master module making a hand. I really prefer the hand foot gun. Okay, I'm going to remove that. Now to continue along into what would be the leg mode, return the legs to the front position here. Make sure you have the ball joints there all lined up. Go ahead, get this out of the way for now. Separate the legs, and you're going to fold them up for what would be car mode. And just bring it in, just like so. Close the panel up. Kind of have to do it like one at a time to make sure you have enough room to clear. And this is what, you know, everyone's talking about how that those panels really don't give you enough clearance. Now, to finish off the transformation, you would just come in here, close that down, and there you would have the car mode. But since we're going into leg mode, you would then detach that whole section again, bring it back on that double hinge. There are tabs here right under that blue section that fit into slots in the back of the car. Go ahead, bring it in just like that, and these will peg into place, securing the go ahead, bring the combiner port up, and there you go. Let me see if am I missing something? I think you gotta, oh yeah, you want to make sure the everything's double jointed the right way. I think you want to have that come down, and then that can come up, so it's a little more flush and even. So there we go. And that, just like that, and that makes a really nice leg. And the instructions do show pegging the gun in there to cover up that clear space, but it is what it is. So we'll just go back to vehicle mode now. I'll give you a look at the vehicle mode. Just close that all up, and you know, just tucking that back section in can sometimes be a little tricky. I'll admit this is not my favorite mold of the first wave. I am looking forward to when it gets repainted into whatever they're going to call the Not GoBot Crasher. But yeah, so we'll pause here and we'll move on to Dreadwind. And here's Power of the Prime's Dreadwind. This is a heavy retool of the aerial bot mold. Specifically, I think this was Air Raid, and we'll see it because Air Raid, I think, shared that rotating shoulder transformation, which we'll see. As you can see, I do have the Prime Master module already attached to the chest. That can just easily remove, and it pegs in because the combiner port has a little panel here that can flip down and snap into place. He also comes with one gun, unfortunately. The original Dreadwind did come with two, and I really don't understand why they couldn't include two of this blaster. It does fit very tightly into the hand. We're almost at the point there where I'm concerned that it might stress the plastic, but not quite. Also, like all the other Prime Master modules, and as well as Jazz, he does have the removable cover that can double as a hand cannon. But this one's a solid plastic. So, like I said, the figure's a heavy retooled of the Combiner Wars aerial bot design, and if I'm being honest, I'm a little disappointed about that. For transformation, we will start with the arm mode, so we'll just go ahead and combine the legs here. Make sure they combine in the back, just like so. Next, what you want to do is straighten out the arms, rotate them around at the forearm, and bend them at the elbow so they face backwards. There is basically nothing there for them to peg into, and I just had that pop off. That's kind of interesting. It's a fake ratchet joint there, so does hold in place, so that's fine. And then go ahead, rotate up the combiner port. Now, the instructions show you to rotate the arm so the front of the legs is facing forward, and then rotate the wings around so they're facing up like little wrist covers. You do lose that double knee joint, and I really don't understand why they couldn't have it go this way. I like the way this looks a lot better. You have that double knee, and yes, you can even fold the wings back that way if you want that extra covering. So I'm just going to say it as leave it to your own desires. Let's go ahead and bring in the hand here. Really am just not feeling these Prime Master components. Plug it in, and there you go, and have the hand. I will mention that the instructions do not show any steps or any extra transformation bits you have to do to combine with what will Darkwing, who is now known as Blackwing. But we have seen, as of this recording, Darkwing's instructions, Blackwing's instructions, and we do know there are some new transformation components there. So we'll see, but I'm not holding out hope. Now, we will continue to get to the leg mode, and we'll also continue into the vehicle transformation. Basically what you do is rotate the arms down and back around, just like so. Keep that flap shut. Go ahead. Rotate the combiner port all the way up. Do whatever you want with the robot head. I'm just leaving it for now. Get these out of the way, because we're now going to go ahead and do the old classic aerial bot leg transformation, which I would think was a lot cooler if it wasn't from a line that's over 2 years old and, you know, what have you. But that'll just crunch up like that, and of course the arms will now peg in to the side at some point. Oh no, actually I almost forgot, you gotta rotate the arms down on this double wrist, so keep that back panel open. That'll just help clear things out. So rotate this down just like so, bring that back up, keep that like so, those wings like so. This will now peg into place, help keep everything secure, and there you have what will be the leg mode. Oh, excuse me. To continue on into the vehicle mode, flip this open a little to get the combiner port back down. Go ahead, double hinge the nose cone forward, make sure all this is closed. Now this is kind of cool. These wings will now swing out. They will peg in on this tab and peg into the side, so you'll have double the locking and support mechanism, and it actually looks like an aerial bot, just in different colors. But they did share a very similar vehicle mode, so just do it like that. I'm making sure everything's just pegging together. I want to say these wings don't peg in as well on mine. Flip down these tail fins, and there you have the vehicle mode. It's not bad. I like the colors. They do match up quite nicely. Many people have pointed out if you add the Prime Master module here, it does match up to where the Power Master would be on the original toy. Not my favorite of the line. I'm sure I'll like it a lot more once we get Blackwing. Well, I guess at this point I should address the controversy surrounding this first wave and these figures. And that's the fact that they're just not as strong as the Dinobots are. Jazz is a great figure, but part of that transformation reminds me of the Cyber Battalion Prowl figure, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just very reminiscent. And the figure just doesn't look like a Jazz to me. Although I do like the fact that, like the animation model, it doesn't have door wings. Dreadwind, unfortunately, is a repaint, retool of a mold that I handled many times before in Combiner Wars. It was great as an aerial bot. It just doesn't work for me here. I am glad that I was expecting incredibly floppy legs, and, right now they're not there, but who knows what's going to happen over time. One of the bonuses as of right now, the Voyagers aren't coming with weapons, so the combined forms are going to be weaponless, so they won't have that extra weight. But like I said, when Blackwing is released, and we can make the Dreadwing combined ship, I think I might warm up to this figure a lot more. If it came with a second gun, I like Dreadwind a lot more. So these figures are showing up at Targets across the country. People are finding them because they're not on shelves. They're going in with the DCPI codes. Those have been published by the various Transformer sites. So you can go ahead and look those up and go in and politely ask a customer sales representative to help you find them. If not, people are selling them for quite a bit on eBay, and I would not pay those amounts unless you're a toy reviewer, at which case I still wouldn't pay those amounts because it's doubtful you're going to make the money back. Painful lessons learned. This is your old pal Chuck for Jazz and Dreadwind. We will see you next time.